So he should show up hopefully in a minute or two. We'll see what happens. And I will edit that. Okay, I'm just saying we're live, which means he can come on at any time. So if you're doing something stupid now, I'm not expecting him, you may get caught. Please don't. Please
Don't be dumb.
Okay?
Don't be stupid. I know it might be hard for you guys.
Oh, we can sing the alma mater. That'd be great. Okay. I really like to be on. Again, I'm going to remind you, your phone is considered disrespectful, even on a video hangout. Please do not be on your phone. I would really appreciate it. I understand you guys have them there. I don't mind them being on the desk, but I'm saying if you're sitting there on your phone the whole time that he's talking, that's not going to work. This is a YouTube video. I will give you guys access to it probably tomorrow. I need to spend some time on my AP class today, but probably by tomorrow it'll be open and available for you tomorrow. Yeah.
Introduce yourselves when you go up there.
You know, let's not. I'd love to be able to do that for you guys, but again, that's time, and I want to make sure we get as much as possible on here. So, time is everything. Let me see where my. All right. I know. I'm like looking at my watch. I'm looking at my computer.
There it is. My dream time.
I'm an arm. Yeah. I'm such a nerd. I watched that video. I forget what made us watch it, but I watched that video and I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I need to show this in my AP class. I don't have time to do it in my AP class. They watch a different video, but the same concept. I was watching one on Netflix, saw it, and went, oh, I need to show that. That's like everything we talk about. This backpack what I got here. Yeah, okay. I think that'd be great. I actually went to go buy Freakonomics, which I'd really like to show you guys, but it's an expensive video. Which, considering how old it is, I was not happy. So, if I can do it, I may still buy it.
Anyway, if 2 hours walking, if she's walking, and then they go guys are live.
Yay! All right.
Hi, Heather.
Good morning. Hi. Thank you so much for contacting us. I really appreciate you being willing to meet with my students this morning.
No problem. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear us?
Yeah, let me turn your volume up a little bit. All right.
Okay. That's all right. Is that working better? Well, let me introduce you. This is my class of economics. Everyone say hello. And what I've got is I've got some students that are going to actually come up kind of to the center of the screen, and they're going to ask some questions. Will that work, KK?
That's good. Yep.
Perfect. All right.
Hi. So the first question we have is, where do you get the materials for your business, and how are those materials affected by international trade?
Okay, let me give you just a little bit of a background first before I answer that question, because I don't want it to be too confusing. We have 3 manufacturing facilities, and one is here in Orange, California. We have another one in Mexico and another one in China. So to answer that question correctly, I want you to understand that we're bringing in finished products and finished goods from all 3 of these facilities. So when we're outsourcing raw materials from for our manufacturing here in Orange, California, we're basically sourcing them locally here. I was a little bit shocked when I double checked with our VP of operations. He had told me all of the raw material for the plastics, the cardboard, foam that are used to produce our cases are all sourced locally. And when you say how it's affected by international trade, I guess it would actually affect it negatively because we are not outsourcing internationally for these raw materials. We're getting them here in the States, which helps our economy. And I guess it would hurt the international trade from an import perspective. So hopefully that answers that question. And did you guys want to go to the next question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, does making the materials here increase your manufacturing costs?
You know, usually we're very conscious, and I think that actually leads almost to the next question that, you know, does cost matter? But, you know, bringing them in, our sourcing people are very cognizant of material costs. Material costs are, you know, probably the highest cost in the overall perspective of a finished product. So we are going to source where we get the best deal. And you have to take into consideration all the factors that go into cost. So when you weigh the options of importing raw materials versus buying them here, if we're going to get a better deal outsourcing it internationally, then we're going to do it. We're going to do it. But our people here have done the research to find out that they're weighing all the factors. Those factors are quality. Number one, is the product going to work? Is it acceptable? Number two is fulfillment. Can these suppliers deliver on time? That's very important. A lot of that goes into, you know, when you're importing from China, they have this thing called Chinese New Year, and they basically shut it down for what is like 6 to 8 weeks of no manufacturing. So sometimes you're cut off with fulfillment. Also, freight costs. Bringing in the product freight-wise, you know, how much is it going to cost me to bring in, you know, 3 tons of polyethylene plastic to make my cases? Even though it's a lower cost, you know, I still have to pay the freight to get it here. There's also duties and tariffs. Duties and tariffs are another cost that when you're importing raw materials, you have to factor that in. So all those factors weigh into the overall cost. So, you know, when we weigh that, we're finding out that it's best to do it here. Go ahead.
So another question we have is, would more free trade agreements help expand your business?
You know, that question is an interesting one. We have sales already in the Middle East, which is it's SKB Middle East, which sells to United Arab Emirates, basically. We also have SKB Europe that's already selling to all the countries in Europe. We have business in South America. So it's a possibility. I mean, right now it seems as though the free trade agreements are not necessarily, or the lack of them are not hindering our sales or importing. So we're still doing business in Mexicali, Mexico at our factory. We're bringing products in every day. So it really, at this point, isn't really, it's not a big factor at this point. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Our next question is, what does outsourcing do for you, and how beneficial is it for your company to have international factories?
International factories?
Yeah, so the ones in Mexico and China.
Yeah. It's actually very beneficial because when we have these international factories, and just to take a step back and to let you know a little bit more about SKB before I answer that question, this will kind of sum it all up. The company has been around for 40 years, and the two owners that are still here that started it out of their garage, and we're actually working at Knott's Berry Farm as performers in the music, and on the side they would be repairing wooden guitar cases for all the artists that came through there. and this was like in the mid 70s. So finally, the K in SKB, Steve Kopman, decided he was tired of repairing all these wooden cases, and he made his first vacuum formed plastic guitar case out of the manifold of a Datsun 240Z car in his garage. And they presented it to Fender Guitar back in 1977, and they liked it so much they wanted it for their 25th anniversary Stratocaster. The problem was they wanted like 30,000 pieces. So they had to go back to their parents and ask them for them to leverage the loan on their house for a capital loan to start the business. And that is how it started. So it was, and they're still here together this day, 40 years later. So we're celebrating our 40th anniversary. But right now in China, the vacuum formed lower end, I should say price sensitive or economic cases are made in China. So it's very beneficial for us to keep those factories going. Also, we have a whole soft-sided side to the business where we have gig bags and rifle bags and pistol bags that are made in China. So that is also very key for us to be able to source those and have our factories there. Also make our golf cases in Mexico and our other vacuum form stuff, and all the military grade government stuff and injection molded cases are made here in the USA because that's a requirement. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, our next question is, do you feel that manufacturing your cases in Orange County is benefiting our economy more than if you were to manufacture them somewhere else?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're providing jobs for all the local people here. Like I said earlier, we are sourcing all our raw materials locally. This definitely helps our economy. It helps the employment. And I'm a big advocate of that, even though I'm not an owner of the company. I have been working here. I'm going on my 10th year, but I've been in manufacturing probably since 1982. And long ago, someone in the early 90s told me that China was going to be a giant factor in manufacturing, and that if I ever had kids, to get them to learn Mandarin Chinese. What I have seen happen is just an explosion of manufacturing where all these dry goods are coming from China. Anything that's made in Walmart, Target, everything is coming from China, and it's basically taken our country down with all the unemployment and all the factories, especially in the Midwest and the East, closing. And that slowly is starting to change. So I feel that we're definitely helping the economy. We're making the country more healthy by keeping the sourcing and the manufacturing here local.
Well, can I just say, I really appreciate you sharing with my class. I think you've added a lot for what they can use for their projects, and you've definitely explained everything that I know they needed on free trade and outsourcing and manufacturing. It was a fantastic support for us. Can I get you guys to tell them thank you?
Thank you. Welcome. You guys have a good day.
All right. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it, and have a wonderful time.
All right, you too. Bye, Heather.
Okay. Bye-bye.